Bonjour. It's a pleasure to meet you today here, and it's a pleasure to be talking about something that is usually difficult to speak about. Here we are to fight one of the worst problems we find on the internet, the children sexual abuse and exploitation with the material running online. But we think it's really important to talk about this issue and to empower our societies in order to solve it. Briefly, we are going to talk about why this is a problem, which is the problem, the main criminal methods we have analyzed, the response we think it's necessary to fight this problem. I'm going to present you briefly an awareness campaign developed in cooperation with other entities. And finally, let me introduce briefly what InCyber is. So, why is this a problem important for us? Of course, it's really complex, it's really sensitive, and it's something that can affect every child, every teenager. It's not something that happens only on the news. It's something that is real and can affect each children at any moment online. We see the problem as the images, the contents that are being shared online from many different sources. Of course, from contact abuse, but also via sextortion, via some type of deception, coercion through the internet. There are other contents that are willingly self-generated content. Let's say via sexting or something like that. And also one of the strangest at the beginning, which are everyday content, which do not have any sexual connotation, but get into sexualized contexts so as they get some images and videos of sexual abuse and exploitation of children. The methods include the live streaming of sexual abuse, the abuse to order, with a perpetrator sitting comfortably at their home and asking via some instant messaging, forum, or whatever tool to another person in the other end of the world to abuse to a children, personally doing specific issues. Of course, who is the perpetrator? Who is the abuser? The one who is touching, abusing physically the kid, or the one who is ordering that abuse? We should prosecute both. We should avoid that you have one person, one, let's say, customer, asking, requiring this type of content. And of course, the child sexual abuse material generated in the context of the travel. We know some people call this sexual tourism. We don't like that word. It's abuse in the context of a travel. Regarding the extortion, you have the common name grooming, but also other forms of sexual extortion, sexual coercion, deception. They are not always adults pretending to be kids. There are even kids, older kids, who are trying to engage with other children in order to get sexual material from them. Regarding the willingly self-generated images, you have the sexting material produced, but also these contents that are spread without consent in the context of trust relationship or something like that, but someone breaks the trust, breaks the confidence, and spread the contents online. And finally, in everyday contents, when they do not have sexual connotations, you can find these contents surrounded by sexual contents, by pornography, adding a sexual context to a picture that apparently has no any problem, any sexual context. So you can find images from parenting, from parents sharing images, proudly images of their kids on the bath of their kids, on the pool of their kids, on the playground, and then criminals using those images, abusing of those images, exploiting the kids' material, and even having comments, hashtags, and even tagging specific moments in videos from families where the contents are not sexually, but when you have an ill mind and you tag one specific moment of a video of a compromised position, body posture, and they get excited with that, we have a problem. Well, we are talking about all of these types of criminal methods of children's sexual abuse material. Which is the main response we think it's necessary to carry on? And the main one is to empower children, to make them aware of the risks, and to have responsible choices in their daily usage of internet and the ICTs. And this needs the collaboration of the family, of the educators, and the peer support. Perhaps some teenagers are more willingly going to talk with other friends than with their parents. But it's necessary to keep the confidence, to keep the trust at a family level. If not with their parents, perhaps with some uncle, some aunt, some cousin, in order to have one point of contact to have this family support. But also from the friends to have this peer support that if you know that your friend is having a sad time, is having a problem, you must act to support them. And one of the key things we believe is that we need to switch the way in which we manage this problem, starting with the terminology. Please, stop calling this child pornography. This is not consented. This is not entertainment. This is child sexual abuse material. We need, of course, to improve our detection, our management, and the report of the cases we find online. But also, it's crucial to tackle the, let's say, consumer part, to reduce the consumption, to be aware that there are people in our societies, many people, with some kind of dark interest, sexual interest on children, and that those interests are not admissible. We need to work from a social level to understand the problem, the extent of the problem, and to try to create social restrictions and provide support channels for people with this type of feelings in order to manage and handle them and not committing the abuse. And of course, here we are at a mainly industry forum, and we need the collaboration of the industry in order to detect cases, to give support, to manage quickly all the reports. Well, in the title of this speech, it was the international cooperation issue. Here we have one of the main results of one international cooperation led by InCyber and with several other entities to create an awareness campaign with a fully dedicated monograph guide about this problem, several articles, videos, infographics, and social network images to raise awareness among the society about this problem, including one lesson plan to be carried out at schools in order to promote the peer support on these issues, getting some, let's say, cases in which you can find yourself with your friends and getting to position yourself, moving a step forward and giving them the support. And this was a cooperation effort. Originally, it was launched as a European Union project, a consortium with several partners from different countries, with a technical part in order to work in a technical tool to detect and handle this type of material, and with a raising awareness campaign. But for this raising awareness campaign, we didn't want to work ourselves in the consortium. So we extended the collaboration to a set of working group of experts from different fields, from associations and companies working in child protection, from NGOs, UNICEF, from law enforcement agencies, including Europol. And then, in a second step of collaboration, further collaboration, trying to adapt the messages designed to tackle children and teenagers, we were collaborating with the youth panels of Spain and Portugal in order to let them give us some recommendations, some guidelines about how to create these contents, how the language we use, how should it be, and finally revising the contents and giving us really, really interesting feedback to it. Of course, a cooperation effort like this is really valuable. The quality of the final materials has been really, really nice. But of course, it's not new to you that collaboration and cooperation needs effort. It's something time-consuming. It's something that you need to make an extra effort in the constitution of the work group, in the operation, coordination, and so on. But we think that really, really works the case. Finally, just let me a pair of moments to introduce you what InCyber is. The Spanish National Cybersecurity Institute is a public body which is trying to improve, to enhance the digital trust along the whole society in Spain, meaning support for companies, SMEs, professionals, but also citizens, children, families, and educators. We are trying to provide support and incident response in any kind of cybersecurity incident, even this type of incidents, to our society. We're trying to promote talent in order to fill in the gaps in our markets, labor markets, in cybersecurity, promoting the industry of cybersecurity at national level, and trying to fuel up the research and investigation on cybersecurity. And of course, developing new technologies to manage new problems, like in this case, working together with law enforcement agencies in order to try to support them in their daily work. Regarding digital trust, as I was saying before, we are trying to raise awareness, to deliver training via many different programs, to establish collaboration both locally with institutions, with partners that can help us deliver these trainings and this raising awareness to the end users, and also globally, trying to establish partnerships, as this one, forensic, in order to tackle different difficult problems. And giving support to citizens. We have established one helpline, not only for children, not only for citizens and for SMEs, in order to support them 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, on any cybersecurity incidents they can have, or in any doubt they can have about cybersecurity. And regarding our specific field among children, families, and educators, we at InCyber are the Spanish Safer Internet Center, according to the Better Internet for Kids policy of the European Union. So this is the center of reference for children security in Spain. And we are aligned with the efforts in the InSafe network and InHope networks of safer internet centers, helplines, and hotlines. And finally, just let me inform you that the Spanish industry, Spain, is ranked number 4 in the Global Cybersecurity Index for cybersecurity maturity. And it would be really a pleasure to meet you under the Spanish InCyber pavilion, just on your back. So any questions, please feel free to contact me either here or at the Spanish pavilion. It will be really a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much.